little girls grow up on fairy tales. Not just girls, children in general. What's not to love? Magic, adventure, mystery. Stories where everything, somehow, works out in the end. But if you really think about it, some of those stories are disturbing. Princes kissing girls who never gave permission. Beasts trapping women in castles and calling it love. Not exactly the kind of lessons anyone should be teaching anymore. And yet, I used to love them too. There was a part of me, small, stubborn, that believed in grand love stories. In impossible odds. In the idea that if you waited long enough, something magical would happen. That illusion stayed with me, right up until the day she walked into our shop. A wolf shifter girl. The kind who believed in fairy tales so deeply, she wanted them to be real. And that's the cruel part. Because in the real world, fairy tales don't save people. They destroy them. They destroyed her life. They destroyed her alphas. And eventually, they destroyed mine too. Though maybe mine had already been falling apart long before that. I just hadn't noticed yet. The crowd around Kira had gone completely silent. The whispers, the snickering, the cruel, half-hidden comments, gone. Now, there was nothing but attention. Every eye in the room was locked onto her. Waiting, judging, hungry for a reaction. Because that's how it works here. Shifters don't just see weakness, they feel it. From a distance. Kira inhaled slowly. She'd cry later, she already knew that. When no one was watching. When the doors were closed. But not here. Not now. Not in front of him. She glanced down at herself for a moment. A simple blue dress. Plain flats. Hair falling naturally over her shoulders. Nothing special, nothing memorable. Then, she looked at Logan. He was sitting in the center of the room like he owned it. Not just sitting, commanding it. Relaxed. Untouchable. Like a king who didn't need to prove he was one. The entire room seemed to orbit around him. And he wasn't even speaking. His lips were sealed. His expression unreadable. But somehow, that silence was louder than anything else. Kira swallowed. She couldn't cry. Not now. Not when he was looking at her like that. Not in front of everyone. Why? She finally asked. Her voice barely made it out. And the moment the word left her lips, she knew how pointless it sounded. Because this was Logan. Perfect. Untouchable. Everything a leader should be. Everything anyone would ever want. And Kira. Kira was nothing. A shifter without a wolf wasn't just weak. She was irrelevant. You dare question my judgment? Logan said. His voice wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. It was controlled. Cold. And worst of all, empty. There was no warmth in it. No trace of the person Kira thought she knew. In that moment, he didn't feel like her alpha. He felt like something else entirely. Something distant. Something unreachable. Of course not, Alpha, she replied evenly. She should have bowed her head. That's what everyone expected. But she didn't. She couldn't. Her eyes were still locked onto him. The light above cast sharp shadows across his face, carving out every angle. His jaw was tight. His expression hard. But it was his eyes. Dark amber. Intense. Unforgiving. Those were what held her in place. Good, Logan said. And somehow, that single word sent a chill through her body. As if she'd just been praised. Even though she knew she hadn't. There was something almost satisfied in his tone. And that made it worse. Go on, he added. His posture shifted slightly. Tense. Waiting. Like he was expecting her to fight back. Like he thought she might refuse him. Didn't he know? There was nothing she wouldn't do for him. Kira opened her mouth. But the words wouldn't come. Kira. His voice snapped sharper this time. The tension in the room spiked instantly. You could feel it. The shift. His anger wasn't loud, but it spread. Like a scent in the air. Heavy. Suffocating. The pack reacted immediately. People stepped back. Heads lowered. Shoulders dropped. Submission. Instinctive. Immediate. A few low growls echoed. Not at him. At her. For pushing him this far. Kira didn't move. Didn't lower her gaze. Because deep down, she had a terrifying thought. What if this was the last time she ever saw him? His dark hair. His skin. The curve of his smile. All of it could disappear after this moment. I, Kira Ellis, accept your rejection. The words came out steady. Too steady. Even she didn't expect that. She waited. Waited for relief. For something to change in him. After all, this was what he wanted. Their bond. Broken before it even began. But nothing happened. No relief. No release. Instead, his expression twisted. Not into calm, but into something darker. A snarl. And for just a second, there was something in his eyes. Something sharp. Something almost like betrayal. Kira froze. She had done exactly what he asked. So why did it feel like she had just done something wrong? Get out of my sight. He turned away from her. Just like that. Like she didn't exist anymore. Kira hesitated. Was that temporary? Or forever? She didn't ask. She couldn't. Maybe, if she stayed out of his way long enough, he'd let her stay. Not close. Never close. But not completely gone either. That would be enough. It had to be. Slowly, she turned. And walked out of the hall. Every step echoing louder than it should have. Behind her, the whispers came back. This time louder. Sharper. Crueler. She didn't react. Didn't look back. Didn't break. Not yet. Kira stepped into the room and immediately felt it. Something was off. The Thorne parents looked uneasy. Elmer was tense. And Clark looked like he didn't trust a single word that was about to be said. Kira, he greeted, his tone unusually polite. Too polite. His eyes lingered on her, careful, guarded. Did something happen? Kira asked, a slow, uneasy feeling settling in her chest. You tell me, Clark replied. Kira frowned slightly, scanning the room. What's going on? She stayed in her room all day yesterday. Willow cutting quickly. If something happened, she wouldn't know. Clark's expression softened for a fraction of a second at Willow. Then hardened again. The alpha is missing. The words dropped into the room like a weight. Someone gasped. Kira didn't react immediately. She couldn't. Because if she let it hit her all at once, she might not recover. Missing. Logan, missing. That didn't make sense. Was he hurt? Was he in danger? Had anyone gone looking? How long had he been gone? And the most terrifying thought of all, what if he wasn't coming back? Since when? She asked, forcing her voice to stay steady. Panic wouldn't help him. Or anyone. Clark's eyes narrowed slightly. Had she reacted too slowly? Too carefully? Kira straightened her posture. No, she wasn't weak. Not here. Not now. As a member of this pack, it's my duty to help, she added firmly. Since when? She repeated. Clark grimaced. According to Tessa. Who's Tessa? Willow interrupted. The woman he was with last night. Willow rolled her eyes. So, one of many. Clark ignored that. They fell asleep together. But when she woke up this morning, he was gone. Silence. Heavy. Unsettling. Maybe he's dead, Willow said casually. Willow. Kira's voice sharpened instantly. Her sister went quiet. People shifted uncomfortably. People are wondering, Clark began, hesitating just slightly. If you've heard from him. Kira blinked. It took her a second to realize. He meant her. No. Why would I? You are his mate. The words hit harder than they should have. Kira forced herself not to react. I'm not, she said calmly. Or have you forgotten? Clark looked like he wanted to argue. But he didn't. Instead, he stood. We're sending out a search party. Trackers meet in 1 hour if he hasn't returned. Elmer nodded immediately. I can help, Kira said. No one answered. Clark didn't even look at her. The ground beneath Logan was cold. Damp. Wrong. This wasn't where he fell asleep. He remembered silk sheets. The faint scent of perfume. Warmth. Not this. Not the forest. He opened his eyes slowly. Recognition came fast. These were the woods near his territory. But something felt off. Why am I here? Then he noticed it. The rustling. The scent of a stag nearby. And then it hit him. I shifted. But that didn't make sense. He hadn't lost control like that in years. His wolf was disciplined. Controlled. So why now? Fragments of the night before surfaced. Tessa. Drinks. Laughter that felt forced. And underneath it all, a strange, restless feeling. Like something was pulling him somewhere else. Like he didn't belong there. He pushed the thought away. It didn't matter. He needed to get back. Instinct took over. His paws moved quietly across the forest floor. The scent trails were clear. Familiar. Easy to follow. But his thoughts. Those weren't as easy to control. Kira is too young. That was the problem. Clark and the others refused to see it. They talked about finding her a mate like she was some responsibility to pass off. No. She didn't need a mate. She needed protection. She belonged. Logan growled. The thought snapped in his mind like something dangerous. Every path led back to her. Her expression. That look in her eyes when the bond began forming. Hope. Pure. Dangerous hope. He shut it down immediately. Memories replaced it. His mother. Her empty eyes. The bitterness in her voice. The arguments. Some bonds didn't save people. They ruined them. Logan forced himself to stop thinking. The pack's scent grew stronger. He was close. He focused. Tried to shift back. Nothing happened. He tried again. Still nothing. A flicker of unease crept in. This hadn't happened since he was a child. He concentrated harder. Forced control. Again. Nothing. Instead. The opposite happened. The more he resisted, the more the wolf took over. Thoughts faded. Control slipped. Instincts sharpened. Stronger. Louder. Soon. There was almost nothing left of him. Only the wolf remained. And the wolf had one clear thought. Find her. Find its mate. Now. Kira ignored Clark's order. He said only trackers. She didn't care. She was going to help. She had to. First stop. Tessa. If anyone knew something, it was her. Tessa opened the door with clear irritation. Beautiful. Confident. Intimidating. The kind of presence that made most people step back. Kira didn't. At first, Tessa tried to dismiss her. But Kira didn't move. Didn't flinch. Didn't leave. Eventually, Tessa gave in. We drank a lot, she admitted. I woke up during the night. He was talking. Talking. Kira frowned. Not like sleep talking, Tessa said slowly. Like, he was responding to someone. Kira's stomach tightened. And then. It stopped. I went back to sleep. When I woke up, he was gone. Not much. But enough to matter. Kira held on to it. Because right now, every detail mattered. More than ever. She wished she had a wolf. With one, she could track him. Find him. Just like he once found her. Instead, she had nothing. Except determination. She drove back. Entered the forest. Took a path no tracker would start with. If they covered one area, she'd cover another. Deeper and deeper she went. Eyes scanning everything. Broken twigs. Disturbed ground. Anything unusual. But she was human. No enhanced senses. No sharp smell. No night vision. Just instinct. And stubborn resolve. The forest grew quieter. Too quiet. No birds. No movement. Just silence. Heavy. Watching. Kira froze. Something wasn't right. Then. She saw it. A wolf. Pure white. Unnaturally bright against the forest. Almost glowing. It was massive. Bigger than any shifter she had ever seen. Its eyes. Intelligent. Focused. Not normal. Not at all. Kira didn't move. Couldn't. It felt like the wolf was trying to tell her something, but she couldn't understand. It stepped closer. Slow. Calculated. She tensed. Ready to run. The wolf stopped. Then, Saturday. Tilted its head slightly. Not aggressive. But not harmless either. Then a howl echoed in the distance. Everything changed. The wolf's body stiffened. A low growl built in its chest. Kira turned. 3 pack trackers emerged. The wolf moved instantly, stepping in front of her, protecting her. Why? The others growled. Ready to attack. Don't. Kira shouted. He didn't hurt me. It didn't matter. This was a trespasser. On pack land. Go, she whispered behind her. The wolf didn't move. It stayed. Between her and them. Then everything exploded. The wolf attacked first. Fast. Brutal. Chaos followed. Teeth. Claws. Growls. Stop. Kira screamed. For a moment. The wolf hesitated. That moment cost it. More wolves arrived. Too many. The fight turned. The white wolf was overwhelmed. Still fighting. Still refusing to back down. Until it collapsed. Blood staining its white fur. Too much blood. The darkness slowly pulled back. Awareness returned in fragments. The wolf woke first. And the first thing it noticed. She wasn't there. Its mate. Gone. The scents around it were familiar. Comforting, even. Its pack. Home. But beneath that familiarity, something was wrong. Something didn't fit. Why had they attacked him? Why was there iron around his neck? Why couldn't he remember clearly? The chain bit into his skin as he shifted slightly. It was night. Pitch black. But that didn't matter. The wolf could see perfectly. A figure approached. Not a threat. Recognizable. Safe. They're going to kill you, the figure said quietly, working at the chain. You don't smell right. You don't even feel like yourself. The wolf listened. It didn't understand the words fully, but it understood enough. Danger. Confusion. You have to go. Now. The chain loosened. The wolf hesitated. This was home, wasn't it? Go, Logan. The name hit something deep inside. Logan. Yes. That was him. Wasn't it? For a split second. Clarity returned. Just enough to understand the truth. A rogue wolf. Attacked. Captured. Marked as a threat. Execution. That was the outcome. His body was injured. Outnumbered. Weak. But then, another thought surfaced. Kira. His mate. No. Not his. He didn't want that. Did he? Go. The voice snapped again. And something primal took over. Logan ran. Disappearing into the forest. Not victory. Just survival. Kira shouldn't have been there. Back at the pack house. In that same pale blue dress. Dancing with him. It didn't make sense. But dreams never do. Logan stood close. Too close. His scent surrounded her. Warm. Familiar. Safe. She wished, just for a second, that she had a wolf. So she could feel it properly. They're watching, Kira whispered. Logan didn't answer. Instead, he leaned in. His lips brushed the corner of hers. You're my mate, he murmured. Soft. Certain. But wrong. Because before, he hadn't sounded like that. I'm not, Kira said quietly. Not anymore. Logan stiffened. His expression changed instantly. Hurt. Almost. Betrayed. Why would you say that? Her chest tightened. Because you're gone, she said. Her voice cracked. You've been gone for weeks. I'm right here, he insisted. You rejected me. The words hurt more now than they had before. Back then, she'd felt empty. Now, she felt everything. You accepted, Logan replied. Kira's eyes flew open. Tears streamed down her face. The white wolf was gone. Logan was gone. And no one had answers. 2 weeks passed. Nothing. No sign. No trace. Just silence. The search continued. But hope didn't. A pack without an alpha was already falling apart. Clark tried to hold things together. But it wasn't enough. If Logan didn't return, someone else would take his place. And not everyone waiting had good intentions. Kira should have been thinking about that. Her future. Her survival. Because without Logan, someone like her wouldn't last long. But she didn't care. Not about that. She cared about one thing. Finding him. She wouldn't give up. Not this time. Not again. Because once, he had saved her. And this time, she was going to save him. Kira had trained her whole life differently. No wolf. No advantages. Just skill. Precision. Control. She learned to hunt like a human. To read the forest. To predict movement. To survive. Even if no one noticed. Even if no one cared. Those skills were still there. And now, she was going to use them. Because she had a target. The white wolf. And she knew one thing. It was still out there. Waiting. Night after night. She hunted. Alone. Avoiding the others. Watching. Waiting. Until finally, she saw it. A flash of white. Her heart slammed in her chest. This was it. She raised her bow. Aimed. Released. The arrow cut through the air. Missed. The wolf moved too fast. Kira didn't hesitate. She ran. Chasing it. Through branches. Through shadows. Through fear. Until it stopped. Turned. Faced her. She aimed again. One arrow left. Then, something impossible happened. The wolf lowered itself. Submission. Not fear. Something else. A choice. Her hands trembled. For a moment, she hesitated. Then, she saw Logan. Dead. Broken. Gone. And she let the arrow fly. It hit. Silence followed. Then, the wind shifted. Moonlight broke through the clouds. And everything changed. The white fur disappeared. Replaced by skin. Human. Kira's breath stopped. Her world collapsed in a single second. She stepped forward slowly. No. No. This wasn't possible. She already knew. Before she even saw his face. That mark. She'd seen it 100 times before. Logan. Her voice broke. He groaned. Alive. Barely. And then, he looked at her. Confused. In pain. And she realized. She was the one who shot him. The girl hesitated at the counter, clearly unsure of herself. I was wondering if the magician is here. She almost whispered the last word, like saying it too loudly might summon something she couldn't control. I sighed. She looked young. Too young. 18, maybe 19. And naive. You don't want to do this, I told her. She blinked, surprised. Good. That meant I still had a chance to stop her. Yes, he can grant wishes, I continued. And no, he won't refuse. Because he can't. That part always unsettled people. If you insist, he has to grant it. Even if it's stupid. And most of them are. I stepped closer. But in exchange, he takes what matters most to you. Her expression shifted slightly. What matters most? It's never what you think, I said quietly. Then I asked, what's your name? She told me. And then she said something that made me pause. I've already lost what matters most. There it was. The same thing they all said. I have nothing left, she added. Except helping my alpha. Of course. Always the alpha. Always devotion disguised as destiny. I'll get him, I muttered. Not because I wanted to. Because I had to. The back of the shop opened into another world. A field. Endless. Golden light frozen in time. Beautiful. And wrong. That's where Adrian stayed when he didn't want to deal with reality. Which was often. I almost hoped he'd be drunk enough to refuse. But no. He was awake. And worse. Clear-headed. I tried to send her away, I said quickly. He didn't respond. Just stood up and walked past me. Cold. Detached. Like always. My assistant must have explained the rules, he said, sitting across from the girl. She stared at him. Frozen. He hadn't aged a day. Not a single day. Are you mute? He asked bluntly. She jumped. No, sorry. She explained everything quickly. Her alpha. The wolf form. The weeks. I was hoping you could help. Adrian didn't respond immediately. Then. Actually, no. The room went still. Even I froze. He had never refused before. Ever. I thought you couldn't say no, she said, confused. Normally, I can't, Adrian replied. But this time, I'll make an exception. Her face fell. Why? Because your alpha isn't cursed randomly. A pause. He's been cursed deliberately. Her eyes widened. By who? Adrian smiled. Cold. Slightly amused. Me. Logan watched silently as Kira led the meeting. Confident. Controlled. Sharp. She didn't need him to guide her anymore. She already knew what to do. And somehow, that made him proud. And uneasy. She had become exactly what the pack needed. Strong. Independent. A leader. Everything he had convinced himself she wasn't. Everything he told himself she couldn't be. He studied her quietly. The way she spoke. The way she commanded attention. She had grown. Without him. Maybe. She had always been capable. He just hadn't seen it. Or maybe. He hadn't wanted to. Because if she didn't need him, then what was he to her? That night changed everything. Kira woke up slowly. And realized something was wrong. Different. Warm. Too warm. She looked up. And froze. Logan. Human. Right beside her. Peaceful. Unaware. Her heart began racing. She shouldn't. But she did. Her fingers brushed his hair. Then his face. Then. His lips. One soft kiss. Then another. Then. He moved. His hand caught her arm. Kira. His voice was rough. Half asleep. Then his eyes opened. Dark. Intense. And everything changed. He pulled her closer. This time. He kissed her back. Deeper. Stronger. Like he had been holding back for too long. But then. He stopped. Abruptly. We can't. The words hit harder than anything before. Kira sat frozen. I'm never going to be enough, am I? Silence. Then. Tears. She hated them. But couldn't stop them. And this time. She didn't stay. She ran. Kira kept going back to the magician. Again. And again. And again. Every time. The same answer. It can't be undone. Until one day. Something changed. He's losing himself, Kira said quietly. Adrian didn't look at her. He's been a wolf too long, he replied. If you don't break the curse, he'll lose his humanity completely. Kira went pale. Why would anyone do this to him? Adrian finally looked at her. Sharp. Cold. Has he really done nothing wrong? Kira froze. He rejected you, didn't he? That was enough. She ran. And this time, Adrian suffered for it. Physically. Because he wasn't supposed to say that. The truth came out slowly. Too slowly. Until it finally broke everything. It was me. Willow didn't deny it. I made the wish. Kira stared at her. Shattered. He rejected you, Willow said. I was trying to fix it. Fix it. Kira laughed. But it wasn't laughter. Do you even understand what you've done? Willow didn't. She really didn't. And that was the worst part. Everything spiraled after that. The pack turned violent. Unstable. Hungry for blood. And they chose a target. The magician. Kira's heart dropped. They're going to kill him. Willow grabbed her. There's another way. You have to convince Logan. He has to choose it himself. Kira stared at her. Nothing made sense anymore. But there was no time left. So she nodded. And somewhere else. Far away. The wolves were already coming. A storm. A hunt. And this time, no one was going to walk away unchanged. Adrian noticed it immediately. The fear. Come here, he said. I didn't want to. Every instinct in my body told me to run, far away from that door, from whatever was coming. But I moved anyway. Maybe it was the softness in his voice. Or maybe it was something else. Magic. He pulled a small locket from his pocket and placed it around my neck. For protection, he said quietly. You'll be fine. I promise. I wanted to argue. But then, his lips brushed my forehead. And everything inside me went still. He had never touched me before. Not once. And somehow, that made it worse. Before I could say anything, he stepped outside and shut the door behind him. Adrian, wait. I rushed forward, grabbing the handle. It wouldn't open. I pulled harder. Nothing. Locked. Sealed. Magic. He locked me in. My voice cracked. Not to protect himself, but to face them alone. The howls grew louder. Closer. They were here. Kira ran. Through branches. Through darkness. Through fear. She wasn't a tracker. She didn't have a wolf. And right now, she barely had her mind. Only one thing pushed her forward. Him. Her red cloak trailed behind her like a signal. A challenge. She wanted him to find her. Even if it meant facing the monster he'd become. What if I'm too late? That thought hit harder than anything. What if he was already gone? Not physically, but mentally. Lost. Forever. Then she felt it. That presence. Heavy. Terrifying. Watching her. She stopped. Didn't run. Didn't turn. Just waited. The white wolf stepped out. But this wasn't Logan anymore. Its eyes. Blood red. Unnatural. Hungry. Dangerous. Kira lifted her chin. Then, slowly, she exposed her neck. An invitation. A risk. A surrender. Come and get me. And then, she ran. Fast. As fast as she could. Her lungs burned. Her heart pounded. Behind her. Pause. Heavy. Closing in. Then. Impact. She hit the ground hard. Pain exploded through her body. Before she could react, he was on top of her. Fangs inches from her throat. Predator. Prey. This was it. Kira closed her eyes. And surrendered completely. I'm yours. The bite came. Sharp. Deep. Pain and shock flooded through her. But she didn't pull away. She reached for him. And felt it. His fur. Turning to skin. Human. He pulled back. Still breathing heavily. Eyes still red. Kira. His voice wasn't fully his. I'm going to bite you back, she whispered. Then you'll be mine, like I'm yours. He hesitated. You don't understand. I do, she said. I choose you. Silence. Then, something shifted. The red in his eyes faded. Replaced by warmth. Recognition. Logan. Finally. He nodded. And this time, she didn't hesitate. She bit him. Far away. Adrian lay on the ground. A wolf above him. Moments from death. I screamed. Helpless. Then, everything stopped. The wolves froze. All of them. Like something had snapped. Clarity returned. One by one. They backed away. Left. Except one. Clark. He shifted back. Ashamed. I don't know what came over us. Adrian shrugged. It's fine. Like nothing had happened. The curse is broken. Clark left. And just like that, it was over. Kira and Logan returned together. Hand in hand. Alive. Whole. Finally, together. You're welcome, Willow said proudly. Don't push it, Kira replied. But she didn't sound angry anymore. Just tired. Relieved. Later, Kira asked the question that had been waiting. What did the magician take from you? Willow froze. Then, her face dropped. My piggy bank. Kira blinked. That's it. I had $40. Willow snapped. I was saving for Disneyland. Kira stared at her. Somehow, that made everything worse. And better. At the same time, Kira returned to the shop one last time. To thank him. Adrian only sighed. Just make sure your pack never comes back. That was all he wanted. She nodded. And left. Without knowing what it had really cost him. That night, he made dinner. Like nothing had happened. Like he hadn't nearly died. What about me? I asked. Silence. Then, it's chicken piccata. My favorite. I froze. I had never told him that. And suddenly, I didn't know what scared me more. The magic or him.